Assalamu alaikum. We are still in Surah number 2. We are trying to understand better Surah number 1, Surah Al-Fatiha. So in the last video, I in Surah number 2, Ayah 47. And I told you that, Allah preferred them over the two worlds, the Bani Israel, with the number of the messengers and the prophets. That's it. That's it. There is nothing else. Read history. Read the Quran. See how rotten and filthy and miserable this nation is. The Israeli Jews. They are the worst. Very well. Okay, let's go to Ayah 48. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واتقوا يوما لا تجزي نفس عن نفس شيئا ولا يقبل منها شفاعة ولا يؤخذ منها عدل ولا هم ينصرون. So Allah started in 47, well, much before that, many ayahs before that, keep reminding them about His ni'mah that He blessed them with, and telling them, fulfill your promise to me so that I can fulfill my promise to you. He would love to fulfill His promise. He made a promise, He would love to fulfill it. But He said, you start first. I gave you so many blessings in life. So now it's time for you to do something in return. So after He said, remember my favor over you and how I preferred you over the two worlds, with a number of men that came one after the other, because you keep sliding back, going to kufr, going to paganism, going to disbelieving, worshipping idols all the time. I keep sending you messengers and prophets to guide you back from the darkness to the light. And Allah says in 48, وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا, be afraid and careful about a day. About a day. لا تجزي نفس عن نفس شيئا. Not one soul will be questioned on behalf of another. And this is a very sensitive message here we are learning. Remember, I said, this is your Quran, Muslims. Even if this is the story of the Israelis, but the messages are applying to you. You Muslims. The Israelis, through this book, this Quran behind their back forever. They will never come to believe in it. You say you believe in this Quran, so you have to abide by the messages mentioned from Allah direct in this book. Relayed from Allah, on behalf of Allah, by Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Fear a day. Watch out for a day. One soul will not be punished on behalf of another soul. لا تجزي نفس عن نفس شيئا. That day, you will go to Allah on gathering ground, Ard al-Mahshar, and you will say, but my parent, prayed for me that you may forgive me. No good. Baloney. Allah said, لِكُلِّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ. Every nafs, every soul, what it have done, what it did. Nobody will do good for you that day. Only your actions. You will be rewarded or punished according to consequences of your doing during your life today. So in every action you do today, this is the message. In everything you do today, you have to watch yourself and watch and think about the day will come when we receive the books and we open and we read. Allah says in Surah Al-Hadid, Ahsahullah. Allah accounted for, وَنَسُوهُ, but they forgot all about it. So when we open the book, we will see it, we will remember We forgot all about all those evil acts, evil behavior, misbehaving, offending Allah. Every day, 24/7. We never quit. We never get tired offending Allah. We are such. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. واتقوا يوما لا تجزي نفس عن نفس شيئا. Fear a day that no one will be questioned on your behalf or will be punished for what you did. Even Satan, we will accuse okay, we will say كان لي قرين. We had a companion, a jinn, a shaitan. He used to whisper. The shaitan will say, ربنا ما أغويته. I did not do, this by force. I just, showed him the way, and he went. He followed my whispers. Why he's blaming me? He should blame himself. Very well. ولا يقبل منها شفاعة. Shafa'a. Muslims, they are so great on, other books apart from the Quran. Oh, shafa'a. We want shafa'a. Oh, ask for the shafa'a. Before you ask for the shafa'a, you have to be deserving. If you don't deserve shafa'a, Allah says, وَلَا يُقْبَلُ مِنْهَا شَفَاعَةً. Shafa'a will not do any good for them. So stop this nonsense of depending on the shafa'a. You have to do well first. You have to obey Allah. You have to come to the Quran. Stop the all wasting time about other nonsense in your life. Come to the Quran that came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Among the Muslims, the 2 billion Muslims in the world today, you cannot find one sect agreeing with the other sect completely on anything, on any book in their hands. Let me give you an example. The Sunni and the Shia? Those have books of hadith, and those have books of hadith. Neither Sunnah believe in the books of hadith of Shia, nor the Shia believe in the books of hadith of the Sunni. And the Sufi are somewhere else on another planet, so high up on drugs. They have their own nonsense and fiction. They made encyclopedias of books that don't make any sense. Ignorance to extreme levels that the Wahhabi don't believe with. And then the Wahhabi, disagree with the Sufi, and the Salafi disagree with Ikhwan, with brotherhood. So we all disagree with one another. We never agree on anything. On the mazhab, the Sunni, how they have mazhab, 4 mazhab, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali. Even each of one of them is so stubborn and so dangerously defending his madhab against the rest. And they may become enemies. If you are Shafi'i, you would refuse everything Hanbali madhab are doing. Those who follow Hanbali madhab. You will go against them. You don't want to sit with them or pray with them. This is how miserable we are today. So we disagree about everything except one thing. One thing. Only. Subhanallah. All this ignorance we live in, yet we agree on Quran that came from Allah and that Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is his messenger and prophet. That's the only thing. Other than that, we are miserable in our differences. In our debates, we want to jump on each other's throats and kill one another and disagree with one another miserably. But we agree on Quran. Subhanallah. So why don't we come back to the Quran? One day in the Arabian Peninsula, the tribes in Medina, for example, Dahish and Ghabra, those wars, they used to, want to annihilate each other. They want to kill every single soul that breathed. They were enemies, miserable enemies that hate one another so bad. And what happened? A miracle took place. Quran came, and Allah says, كنتم أعداء أصبحتم إخوانا. Quran managed to bring harmony, love, and respect in their hearts to one another. And we became an ummah that we are trying to destroy today. Only Quran can save us, not madhab Shafi'i or Hanbali or Maliki or any other. None of the madhab will save us. None of the books will save us. None of the ways will save us. Only Quran can save us. But in order for Quran to save us, we have to come back to the noble Quran with all of our hearts first. Get the shield of the Quran to protect ourselves against the madhab, the differences. Ask yourself why you are a Sunni. Allah says you have to be like Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Was he a Sunni? Was he a Shia? Or maybe a Sufi? No, he wasn't. You're lying if you say yes, he was. You're lying. Muhammad, as our mother Aisha said, Qur'anan yamshi ala al-ard. He was a walking, talking Quran. Unless we come back to the footsteps of our messenger and prophet and Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, we will stay so miserable, stepped on by the shoes of the kafir. Everywhere. لا يغير الله ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Allah will not change our state before we change what is our nafs. Our nafs. All our focus to be toward the noble Quran and leave all the rest for later. Maybe we will have time for it. They don't matter. Those other things, don't matter much. You will not go, Judgment Day, and you will be questioned about Mazhab Hanafi or Shafi'i or Maliki. You will not be questioned about the books of Hadith in Shia hands or Sunni hands. You will not be questioned about dancing like monkeys in the masjid. Oh, you will be questioned about that, I'm sorry. Oh, you will be questioned about all this. Why you did this? Did you lose the Quran? Did Quran disappear from your hands? No, you had it on the highest shelf so that you cannot reach it. And you make every other book available. Just stretch your hand, pick it up, read. And you became professionals at those books that matter not. And the only book that matters is way out of reach. So sad. وَلَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْهَا عَدْلٌ. Not even one small action will be accepted from it. Adl means any way, any small weight of good work, even that will not be accepted. We reach a state or a stage that, Allah doesn't even want to look at us because of the rotten actions that we are doing today. And how we left this Quran behind our backs. And how 99% of us abandoned it. 99% of 2 billion. Can you imagine how many millions it is? 99% of 2 billions abandoned the Quran. As Muhammad ﷺ said 1400 years back. We are doing it until today. And I hope one day we may change. وَلَهُمْ يُنصَرُونَ. And nobody will come to their aid. Nobody will help. Forget about the shafa'ah, please. Forget about the shafa'ah. You want shafa'ah, Quran will be the shafa'ah for you. Come back to the Quran. Please, with all of your heart. A hard, strong return. That's what we need as Muslims. Come back to the words of Allah. the ni'mah, the sirat al-mustaqim, is this Quran. Assalamu alaikum.